Welcome to or back to my channel. My name's Annie and today is day 3 of Summerween. At least Summerween, my version, because I am moving the official week of Summerween, as you might have seen in my last video. So today is actually July 2nd, which also happens to be my booktube birthday. I am 2 years old in booktube years. I am so thankful to anyone who has been watching my channel since the beginning, anyone who's recently subscribed. I know I have not been posting pretty much at all lately, but it is something I'm always thinking about, something I really want to get back into, and I have loved my time on booktube so far and had so much fun. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I might get myself a treat later, but I did kind of just splurge. Let me show you. So as you might have seen, I think I'm gonna put the b-roll I shot this morning at like the beginning of the vlog. I just hung out with a friend, I got some brunch, and then we went to this amazing place. If you're ever in Manhattan Beach, California, go to Star's Antique Market. It is insane. It's massive on the inside. I could spend a whole day in there, but I was like, I've been trying to save money, and that kind of went out the window. I mean, I spent $30, but like that's a lot for me when I feel like I'm on a budget. The first thing I got is this belt, which I am just obsessed with. It has these like orange stones on it. Oh my god. I'm just so excited to like kind of craft an outfit around it, and it has a little like heart charm on the end of it. Yeah, it's really cool. This was 25 bucks, which I feel like was not bad. And then I got a shirt for $5, which is a steal. And it looks really good on. This is the shirt. I like that it has this whole like tiered sort of things, and I like the beaded bit at the top. I also feel like the color looks really nice on me. So I'm excited about those, and my purchases made me very happy. So perhaps these will be my YouTube anniversary gifts to myself, because I was gonna get myself a cupcake from Susie Cakes, but I'm like, I did just quit both of my jobs and stop working, so perhaps I should be saving money. We'll see. So it is a bit of a late start today in terms of the vlog, because it is 2:15, but I am really gonna try to like lock in the rest of the day. I feel like the last 2 days I've been busy with things, haven't been able to get as much reading in as I want to, so I'm gonna focus on that today. I think right now I'm gonna go first to the library for a reason I'll tell you in a second, and then second I'll go to a lookout spot and get some reading in, and then I'm either gonna go to like a cafe or home. I'm not really sure yet. Oh my god, it's hot out today, guys. I've been sweating all day, and I'm sorry if you can hear the AC in the car. It's simply too hot. So the reason I'm going to the library is because I think there might be a slight TBR change. And this is, okay, it's because I have 2 Chuck Tingle books on my TBR right now for this video. One of them, Bury Your Gaze, which I've already started on audiobook, and I'm going to be listening to more in the car, because I haven't listened to it since the first day of Summerween when I read like the first chapter. So I'm gonna listen to that now. But the second one is Camp Damascus, which I own a physical copy of. All the rest of my books are packed away, except for a couple that I'm gonna read on my road trip across the country that I'm leaving on Tuesday. So I will be able to read that book then. So I'm kind of like, for Summerween, maybe I'll also read this other book that I don't have and I've been wanting to read while I still have access to my library, and that is We Used to Live Here. I've heard incredible things about it. Apparently there's like people on Reddit trying to figure out what's happening, like all these theories. I'm excited. I don't really know much about it, except that it's about these people that move into a house and then someone knocks on their door, or like another family knocks on the door and says, hey, we used to live here, like, can we come inside? And then they say yes, which is a dumb decision, and then things go from there. But apparently a branch of my library has this. It's not a branch I normally go to, but it's really pretty, so I'm gonna hopefully get it there, and then we'll be on our way to the lookout spot. So yeah, let's go. SUMMERWEEN day 3. Hello, it is now like midnight, so I haven't talked to you in a while. I went to that library. Guys, I'm so dumb. I literally went there the other day too and was so confused as to why the book wasn't there. There's 2 libraries in the library district that start with the letter M, and I guess my eyes just completely glazed over the whole rest of the word and assumed it was the library, not the one. So that's on me. I did not find the book I was looking for. I'm unsure if I'm going to try to check it out from the library again, because I low-key think like I do have a lot of books on my Kindle, and I have some horror books on my Kindle that I do want to read, or I could read Camp Damascus. So for now, the TBR may or may not include We Used to Live Here. We will see how much progress I make on reading in the next couple of days, because things have just been hectic and I'm trying to see people before I move. Hence, like, you know, I was hanging out with my friend. I want to hang out with my sisters in the coming days because they're not moving with us. So it's like, I feel like I'm always wanting to just like shut myself away and read during readathons, but I have things to do. With that being said, I actually did read quite a bit of American Rapture today, I believe. I read, how many did I read today? Well, okay, not quite a bit, but I read 60 pages and I am wanting to finish the rest of the book tonight. I am almost at the point where I stopped reading. It looks like I stopped reading at page 192. I'm on page 189. So I'll talk to you about that and give you a little update in a second. I also have some updates on Bury Your Gaze because I did listen to it a little bit in the car. I was gonna go to a lookout spot after I went to the library, but I had a headache and I realized I forgot my headphones at home and I wanted to go to a cafe after because I was feeling like I was dehydrated. I had to go to the bathroom. And then I was like, do I really want to go sit in the middle of nowhere? Well, I have neither option. So I went back home to grab my earbuds, like get some water and stuff, and then my sister and brother got home. So I decided to go to a cafe with my sister, which you might have seen. We took our dog, which was great in theory, but then my sister had to go inside to charge her laptop, leaving me out there with the dog. And she is so anxious, bless her. So I read 15 pages during the maybe 45 minutes to an hour that we were there. And all I was doing was reading and petting my dog and stuff. But it was cute. It was like good vibes. Got home, read a lot, took a little nap, ate some dinner, edited a little bit, and here we are. It is slightly past midnight. And guys, this is so annoying. So I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and they really, really want me to be there at 7:30. Why is that becoming a thing now? Like, that's way too early. Like, I'm not a morning person in the first place, and you want me to get to my appointment 30 minutes early. But I don't want to risk not doing that, because my mom said that one time they told her to arrive half an hour early. She arrived 20 minutes early, and they had given her appointment away. Which is like, that should never happen, but I don't want to even risk that. So I have to get up early, but fuck it. SUMMERWEEN only happens once a year. And today's my 2-year booktube anniversary. So I want to be reading. I also did not get myself a treat, but I do have these leftover Sour Patch watermelon. And I did get my latte, which was $6.50. Deep breaths. Anyway, I'm continuing to really, really enjoy American Rapture. I just love CJ Leeds writing so much. She's very intentional about everything she does, and she has so many like intertextual kind of references in this book, namely to Dante's Inferno, and then also to this book called The Valley of Horses, which I think is a second book in a series. But the guy that Sophie likes, Ben, like tells her to get it from the library, and she does, and it's like got some like sexy scenes in it, and she keeps thinking about it throughout the book. This was something that happened in Mayfly too. That was a book that was very much in conversation with other texts, and I want now to read these books so I can better understand this text. Guys, just pick up her books. It's so cool. She builds like a whole world for them. Like, she makes a Spotify playlist for her novels. I love the Mayfly one. It's such a good like Halloween playlist, and I'm going to be listening to this one potentially after I finish it, because it's hard for me to listen to music while I read. She's very intentional about building like a sonic like landscape for her books, which I find really interesting. And I love all that stuff. My like English nerd brain goes crazy for like intertextual references and things like that. Her writing style is just beautiful. There are like so many great literary devices she uses. Like, I always just want to write an essay about her books. I say always, this is the second one, but you know what I mean. But I think that there's some really interesting conversations happening in this book. Specifically, I'm trying to think, organize my thoughts. What's really interesting is the conversation around bystanders, especially when it comes to sexual assault. So there's this obviously horrifying scene that I mentioned earlier where Sophie's dad tries to rape her because he's been infected with this illness. And as Sophie is driving away in the car after she's escaped, she sees her neighbor just standing there on her front lawn watching her. And she can tell by looking at her neighbor's face that she saw and did nothing. And then later when she's in the traffic jam and there's that infected guy, at first he's attacking someone else before he tries to like get into her car. The guy that was attacked, she calls him Camaro because he was driving a Camaro. It says, Camaro looks around then at all the windshields of all the cars to see who witnessed this. He meets my eye and he holds it the way I looked at Mrs. Ingalls, which is the woman that was watching. And then he's like, what the fuck is wrong with all you people? He yells to all the cars to me. And then he gets back into his car. And it's really interesting because it's so, like, being a bystander to something like or sexual assault is just horrible. Like, I could not imagine myself doing that, but I feel like we all say that. And then who knows? Like, if it was like, I think this is just an interesting thing to think about in the context of this book, because people are not going to risk their own safety for the safety of strangers like 99% of the time. And I can't say that I would. And now in this situation, it's like this virus is being spread, that people are getting assaulted, and as soon as like any bodily fluid, whether it's blood, saliva, anything makes contact with you, sweat, I would assume, you are also at high risk of infection. Are you really gonna go risk your own life to go stop someone else from being hurt in that situation? I think the only people that would are maybe people that feel like they have nothing to lose, or maybe people that are really good. And it's just, it is just kind of like, I don't know. I want to like examine it more and think about it more. And I want to see if it like recurs at all throughout the rest of the book. This idea of being a bystander and what that means. Because there's always some risk involved in coming forward and stopping something. But I don't know. It's something I feel like I still haven't fully, like, I just think I need to think about it more in the context of the book. So I'm finding that really interesting, and it's obviously come up a couple times. The other thing that I think is really prominent in this book, and something that CJ Lee talked about on the book tour, was that there are these kind of two main aspects to the book, and it's like Americana and religion, specifically like Christianity. And she was kind of saying that like some people are going to relate to one and some people are going to relate to the other. And I definitely love seeing the moments where the Americana stuff kind of comes into play, and it's coming into play a lot more so now that Sophie has left her home and is on the road. I am someone that identifies a lot more with the religious stuff and all that kind of religious trauma, because that was my life, and I was raised like kind of on the coast, so not in those like flyover states or something where I feel like it is very like, I don't know, like dive bars and kitschy roadside attractions and like fields for miles and stuff. Like I feel like that's kind of the vibe. And the book is set in Wisconsin, which is actually a place I want to go. Did I have, let me see if I can find it. I forgot to show you guys this earlier, but I got another postcard at the thing and it shows Wisconsin and it says the end times are coming, and then it has like little places where she goes. So it looks like, let me see if I've gone to any of these yet. So Forston is where she lives. We've been to the farmhouse where I'm at, and then we're right now at Bright Beginnings High School, where people are kind of like sheltering. So it's fun. I just really love all the like merch stuff that she had for this. Some of the writing and like the vibes and everything are so, oh, it's so good. Like she really just kind of transports you places, and this is why I want to listen to the playlist so bad, is because Mayfly was like a complete like mind, body, soul like encompassing experience for me. Like I felt like I was living it. I was also listening to this like 80s synth retro type ambiance while I was reading it, and that also kind of took me there. But I'm just loving it, and I like the cover even if my sister doesn't. Maybe not as much as Mayfly, but I like it. Let me see what else I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, I mean, it's just the quarantine stuff. I folded down this page. Like someone just says shit world where you can't shake hands, because someone went to go shake hands and then the other guy was like, I can't really do that. I was like, damn, I mean, we've all been there. So I think it's really interesting because also I know CJ Leeds started writing this book in like high school, but I wonder if the pandemic changed her writing process. I can't remember if she talked about that at all. I would assume it definitely did. But anyway, just to give a quick summary of like where we're at now. Sophie and Morrow, the cop, have honestly been going through it. I think when I last talked to you guys, he was going to drop her off at his friend Eli's house. When they got there, Eli and his partner were both dead, and they had taken their own lives. Instead of falling into the virus, it looks like they must have both gotten infected and then killed themselves. And they left her dog behind named Barghast. I wonder where that name comes from. Let me look it up, because I know it definitely has a meaning. Like, she doesn't do anything unintentionally. And Barghast is a bit of a strange name. Oh, it's a goblin dog. Barghast, in the folklore of Northern England, especially Yorkshire, is a monstrous goblin dog with huge teeth and claws that appears only at night. It is believed that those who saw one clearly would soon die after, while those who caught only a glimpse of the beast would live on, but only for some months. Oh, interesting. So it's like an omen of death. I mean, the chapter where they find it is called Hellhound, so that's interesting. I have been so like touched and emotionally drawn in by the scenes between Sophie and Barghast, who is like, he is really traumatized by his owner's death, and it's so sad when you first see him. My phone keeps running out of storage. It just cut out, so I'm gonna try to keep the rest of this kind of brief. But the bond that Sophie is starting to form with Barghast is really, really sweet, and he's this big scary dog that can like really protect her and Morrow, which is really nice. Morrow then took her to like what I think is his family home. He has not confirmed it, but it seemed like he was kind of lying and like saying it wasn't. And Sophie's starting to get a crush on him, and it seems like he's kind of into her, which like, okay, he seems like a good guy, but you almost forget that he's 24 and she's 16, but she told him she was 17, which still doesn't make it better. So I really hope they don't get together, because that would be really creepy. But they like drink wine together and they talk and stuff, and he tells her about his sister, who he also says she reminds him of. Like, I swear to God, if they hook up, oh, it's kind of nasty. They were staying at that house, then there was a tornado they had to outrun. I need to talk about the wind first off. So the wind is like acting weird, and I mean like the actual physical wind. At the beginning of the book, she feels it like coming in her window, like kind of caressing the back of her neck, and it seems like the wind is symbolic, and it's symbolizing sin or like the devil or temptation. And when she's like all horny in like the house sleeping in the other room for Morrow, she's like, oh my god, is he gonna come in? Like, should we kiss right now? A tornado starts. And like there was a violent wind like the night that Nick got taken. So it's like some sort of sin temptation sort of signal. And it's very, very interesting. And it makes me wonder if there are actual like cosmic forces at play here, which I think would be really interesting. And I kind of hope it goes crazier down that route, because I feel like it's been, okay, it has been crazy so far. Like, yes, disturbing scenes, but I know it's gonna go further. I'm interested because like we're like halfway through. Also, they're at this school sheltering. They got a vaccination, but it's only for like the original just flu-like symptoms. Doesn't seem to cover this mutation that they call Sylvia, which is the one that makes everyone horny. So I don't know how much is gonna help, but they've been told to shelter in place at this school with all these other people. It's like a place being run by police and like the law to get this vaccination, and then you have to wait 48 hours for it to fully like start working its magic, and then you can leave. And it turns out the person in the cot beside her is her crush Ben, who is the son of the librarian she loves. So at least there's now an age-appropriate man she can thirst after. I'm interested to see where it goes, but I am gonna try to finish this tonight because it's the end of day 3 and I want to have finished a book, and also because I'm obsessed. Maybe I will. I'm gonna try turning on the playlist and see how it goes. I will either update you guys tonight or tomorrow, and hopefully I will have finished this. Oh my god, I literally forgot to talk to you about Bury Your Gaze. I fear I don't have enough storage, so that update will be tomorrow. Okay, goodbye. It's like 7:30. I've been so bad at filming today, but it's because I've been sleeping almost all day. I had to get up early for that doctor's appointment. I went to that, came home for a quick breakfast, and then I had to do therapy. So I went to that, came home again, and then my plan was to like nap for an hour because I was feeling really, really rough, and then go to Huntington Beach with my mom and my sisters to help them set up their house, but also to go to the Huntington Beach library and like get some stuff done. I had set my alarm to wake up at like 2 to get ready to go with them to do that, and I felt just so awful that I ended up just going back to sleep, and I slept until 6:30. Been up for the last hour, but honestly I've mostly just like been on my phone, and I still have a migraine, so don't know how much I'm gonna get done tonight. Honestly, might just like kind of veg out. It's really frustrating like when my health gets in the way of me being productive and doing the things I want to do. If you're new here, hi, I'm Annie. I have chronic migraines, chronic fatigue, currently having some neck issues. I will be okay, but I think I just really, really need to rest. And I am glad that I took that 5.5 hour nap. Clearly I needed it, but I just, yeah, don't know how much I'm gonna get done tonight. Last night, I was totally gonna stay up and finish the whole thing, and then it got to 3 a.m. and I realized I still had over 100 pages left in American Rapture. I will probably give you guys more of an update on that when I can think a bit more coherently. Right now, I do still have a migraine, so I ordered myself some McDonald's, and I'm gonna, I don't know, put on my blue light glasses and watch some Love Island, and then try to finish this tonight. I also did go to the library this morning and picked up some holds, which aren't super spooky, but I maybe a little spooky, which Atelier volumes 9 and 10, which I do want to read before I leave, because I did put a hold on them. I want to get to them, so perhaps I will do that. And then I was feeling super indecisive with my TBR for this readathon, which is so silly because I'm probably just gonna have time. Oh my god, sorry. I'm probably just gonna have time to read All's Well after this, but I also got some more books, so I have options. I got this novella, which actually is kind of likely I might read this because it's so short. It's called The Dream Quest of Velit Beau. It looks really cool. I got Bad Cree, which I've been wanting to read, and then I got The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher. So like books with skies on the cover. Who knows if I will get to any of these, honestly. I sometimes, like, when I'm having a good time reading and I'm like getting back into reading, I get way too overambitious and I start thinking about what I'm gonna read next, and I really fell into that trap today at the library. Anyway, I am gonna watch Love Island, hopefully finish this and take some painkillers. Love you. Me over there. Hi, so it is the 4th of July now. Did I read anything yesterday? No, I was feeling kind of awful, so I did not end up reading or editing or anything. My plans for today kind of fell through though, which is actually not a bad thing because I've been feeling a little bit scattered, honestly. The move is coming up really soon, and like I've been feeling like there's not enough time on the day, and I'm having to come to terms with the fact that like for this readathon I might not be able to be reading all the time because I have like people to see, I got things I'm doing, you know. So I am happy to have this like afternoon evening time kind of to myself. It's 4:15 right now. I did go to a family friend's house for like a lunch and barbecue kind of thing. I swam for a while, and then the rest of my family dropped me off, and I'm gonna chill here by myself for tonight. And my parents got me like a bottle of wine because they were like, we know your plans got canceled. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'm gonna be reading, editing, doing sprints the rest of the day, and honestly I feel like it was just what I needed. The other night I did want to give you guys kind of an update on American Rapture. Peppa, why are you panting so much? Oh, I did have some things I wanted to touch on. Right now I'm on page 254, so I have maybe a quarter of the book left. I'm very excited to be finishing it today, but honestly, since I last checked in with like plot details, we have still been at the school kind of like refuge that Morrow and Sophie were at, and then I don't know if I mentioned this, but then she ran into Ben, the boy she liked at school there, and we meet a couple other characters there. There's this little boy named Wyatt who doesn't really speak, and then a girl named, is it Hannah? Helen, who's like a really pretty girl around Ben and Sophie's age that Ben kind of made friends with in the couple days that he's been there before Sophie arrived. And then there's this woman, Cleo, that is like this really, really hot woman. I kind of have a crush on her. Her husband just died, unfortunately. But Sophie walked in on her and Morrow making out and like, you know, kind of, yeah, making out. So Sophie's feeling like a little bit jealous of Helen and Ben, but also of Cleo and Morrow. And she's feeling like the fifth wheel in a sense, but it's kind of like this weird love triangle situation, which Morrow should not be in this love triangle. But like, I do love Morrow's personality, but Sophie is simply, she's 16. So as much as I like it for myself, I cannot ethically like it for Sophie. The school that they're sheltering at got attacked by some zombie like infected people. So now the 6 of them are fleeing, and they stole this school bus and they're on the run. It is kind of crazy that they all survived. And Ben and Sophie kind of almost kissed. I really love Ben. I do. He's really sweet. So it's like things are interesting because things are developing kind of romantically between the two of them, but like there's this big fear that like Sophie has that she's already infected or that he's infected, because it's really hard to tell. It seems to kind of just like sneak up on you. But I did have a couple, like, I don't know, just another thing to contribute to the whole bystander conversation. There's this big group of like zombie infected people that attack the shelter, and one of them kind of gets in through the front door and starts attacking this boy, and Sophie thinks that the boy is Noah, her brother. So she runs and like risks her life to try to save this boy, but eventually she stops because she realizes it's not Noah and she keeps herself safe. She feels a lot of guilt over that. So I think it's just interesting, like the way that people act in their own interests or in the interests of those that they love. Like, and I can't really blame anyone for it, but Sophie's feeling a lot of guilt about that. Are you okay? And then just quickly, because I don't want to give too many updates before like I finish the book, because I feel like I've been talking about this book a long time. I did make a note because I feel like there's this quote on page 207 that I feel like is kind of the core of what the book is trying to get at, and it says, could Eve have been sick in the garden? Is desire an illness in itself? Or is God turning our sin against us, sweeping his almighty wrath across the land in these winds, the way Reverend Ansel is saying, which I'll come back to in a moment because I forgot to tell you about that. As if knowing I'm thinking of it, the wind surges again against the walls, and I feel a whisper, a pull, the same I did in my bedroom the night Noah was taken, the same I felt in the tornado, the call of something that does not feel like God, it feels like death. This is what the reader's wondering the whole time. Like, is this something that is just an illness and our character is kind of like learning about herself and her sexuality in this scary world while this illness is taking place? Or is it something that's actually been caused by God or by the devil? And I'm kind of hoping it's one of these last two options because I feel like it's very fitting with the book. But quickly, she did mention this guy, Reverend Ansel, and I almost forgot about this part. There's this guy, this reverend that is kind of like, he's very much just like anti-vaxxer, like pastor saying, this is God punishing us. He's doing what he did like during the flood with Noah because we've been bad. We've like been sinning, and like this is like divine punishment, basically. The reason that they actually have to flee the shelter eventually is not because of the big group of zombie type things that attacked them, because they actually made it through that. I can't believe I forgot this. It was just 2 days ago, but it's actually because followers of Reverend Ansel that are wearing these like red robes in like a culty type way begin to burn down the school and everyone inside. So they like kind of narrowly escape that. And Sophie has this moment of realization that she had seen red robes being passed around the nuns at her school and even her neighbor, Miss Ingalls, in the beginning of the book. That was something that was mentioned that I didn't really think much of at the time. She is fairly certain that the people that she grew up with are now part of this extremist like cult group that is killing a bunch of people. On top of the virus that's killing a bunch of people. So she's having lots of complicated feelings about that, but I just feel like things are about to go off the walls in the last quarter of this book. I just feel like it hasn't been tame necessarily, but it's been like this simmering kind of like tension the whole way through, and I'm excited to see how it ends because I am loving it. My other reading plans for the night are definitely Fangs. I did kind of want to get to this yesterday. I feel like I can read this in one sitting, and it looks really good, so I'm excited. And then after that, I will be starting All's Well. Oh, let me update you guys on Bear Your Gaze quickly. I'm about 25% of the way in. Basically, since our main character, Misha, I think I said it was Mika earlier, but it's Misha, since the guy died right in front of him at the end of the first chapter, he has been seeing characters from his horror films in his real life. And it seems like these characters are based on his real life traumas, and they're all like coming to haunt him. And he's not imagining them, like other people are seeing these too. Most notably, he's ran into this guy called the Smoker that it seems like was inspired by his uncle in some way. We don't really know the backstory with that. But when you see the Smoker in the movie, he asks for a light, like in Misha's movie. And if you can't give him one, you're gonna die in 5 days. And Misha, who always carries around matchbooks in his pocket, kind of obsessively, is caught in a moment without one. And now it seems like he feels like he and his friends might die in the next 5 days. Very interesting. I'm really intrigued. I want to get farther with that. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll end up starting Oswald tonight because I do also have some editing to do, but I might read Bury Your Gaze. I'm excited for some good, like, hours and hours of sprints. So I'm gonna get to that. I will catch up with you when I finish a book, honestly. Hello, so it's much later now. It's 10:15 and I finally finished American Rapture like maybe an hour ago. I was bawling my eyes out. I was so sad. This book is so sad. Just be prepared. It's really sad. Also, it took me so long to read this because of how long I was annotating it. Like, I didn't even fully realize until today, but I had 120 pages left and it took me at least 3 hours to finish that just because of how much annotating I was doing and stuff. I really, really liked it. Not as much as Mayfly. I think Mayfly has such a like special place in my heart that this book, it just wasn't the same, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what CJ Lead is gonna do next. Also, there was so much bi representation in this book. It made me very happy. I'm kind of lost for words. Like, everything was wrapped up really well. It was an ending that wasn't like completely like every storyline is done from here, but all the thematic elements were like all tied up, which I found really nice. It was very satisfying, but also like really fucking sad. Just really sad. Yeah, I really liked it. I think it's probably a 4.5 out of 5 if I have to rate it. That kind of emotionally drained me and I got really hungry, but I waited to order food because I was engrossed. So I haven't eaten yet. My food just got here. I ordered some sushi and some tiramisu for dessert. And I have my glass of wine. And I think I've decided I'm gonna watch a horror movie. I don't know what yet, but I need to watch at least one horror movie in SUMMERWEEN. And Megan 2.0 does not count. So I think I'm gonna do that. And then maybe later tonight read Things and or start Oswald, or just read more Bury Your Gaze. Honestly, the world's my oyster. The possibilities are endless. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out a movie to watch and I'm gonna eat my food and I'm gonna have my little cozy horror night. Hi, it is the next day. It's now July 5th. So the first day of official SUMMERWEEN. Last night I watched Barbarian, which was, honestly, I still don't know how to feel about it because, I don't know, there was a lot going on. I think I really enjoyed it during like the middle part, and then by the end I wasn't so sure. But it's basically about this woman that arrives at an Airbnb only to find that there's already a guy staying there that says he already booked it to stay on some other Airbnb like platform, and that guy is Bill Skarsgård, who I think is he was perfectly cast for this role. Like, he's kind of handsome but then kind of creepy, and like the way he plays it is like super awkward but like trying to be respectful, and that's all I'm really gonna say. But the narrative structure of this story is like really, really interesting, and there were some really funny moments. So I don't know, I think I did like it, but I just like the ending and certain aspects didn't really like make sense to me, so I need to think on it. But I think I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to. I will be posting, I believe, 2 more videos for Summerween, and I hope to continue posting semi-regularly after that. As always, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.